tagged up and stuck in these B apartments now with that Molotov to follow. And already a man down. Endpoint, they've got to abandon their initial strategy completely and start to bail out those B apartments.
Yeah, this is really getting interesting. And I think part of what we're seeing slightly from Endpoint, they're definitely trying to play these rounds thick and fast, and it's not quite working as much as they would like. It did allow them to get back in after the pistols. So, you know, there's maybe that kind of argument in the back of their mind. They're filling the argument themselves, right, with the results. Synopsy, though, so good on this Deagle. 2 in the previous round, 1 into this one. He does get traded quickly, but retaining the man advantage, right? Finding damage, getting a bit more information as well that they're in and around middle. So really good stuff for Secret. And I don't know, man, with a combined HP of 83, what do you do here if you're Endpoint? They are locked out, don't really know the vulnerable areas, right? It's not like they're in a 3-on-2 with B control. However, he pushes forwards, but quickly reacts across. That's the bomb as well. So now Crucial has really got his work cut out. And I don't know, to be honest, yeah, it looks like with 20 seconds left and no bomb, he's just going to move to save. So the back and forth continues.
Yeah, really bold call from Endpoint to try and take that bomb up short on the back of a player with 33 HP. And when it goes wrong catastrophically because Crucial is nowhere near. He's hoping maybe they can get some kind of a split going. They can find a frag from the apartments that opens things up. But Anarchez reacts beautifully to the situation, realizes there's a player there, flicks to the left. Lucky that he's low HP. That gets him the frag. And the back and forth, as you said, continues. At Endpoint, it's getting even more awkward now. I mean, they had full rifles there. They had everything they needed. They had a couple of MAC-10s to try and go quickly into B. It fell apart at the seams, and this time, well, they're going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. They've managed to get 1 AK and a Galil, but it's 2 Deegs, a Tech-9 for Mighty Max. The utility is very low. And you struggle to see what they're going to pull out of the bag here. A little bit slower towards the B apartments initially. Couple of players late towards the A ramp, just hoping maybe for some aggression from the CT side. And Flames out towards top of mid. It does look like it's going to be a mid-split connector in A. Can they crack open this defense? 2 players in comp for the CT side as well. That Molotov buys them a little time, and the sound cues that Surreal is down there, so the nades will follow. And they should do a good whack of damage. Surreal down to 42 already. And this strat's looking like it's been read pretty well initially by Secret.
Yeah, I think they're very prepared for it, right? 3 on A, slight bit more attention towards the connector side of things. They will start to readjust, bringing Anarchez around towards CT. So Synopsy now kind of finds himself on his own, and it does look like Endpoint are still going to go for it. Still coming back to that original idea. And it could be deadly. The burst coming in just a second here. Synopsy peeks into them. Oh, a team kill. That could be big. With Radafaction, but only able to find 1. The trades coming in from both sides. So still a 3-on-3, 35 seconds remain. The bomb is going to get planted here, and obviously it's down to the rotations, but with no smokes and all these channels being left open, there's a really good chance for the automatic weaponry, the stronger weaponry of Secret, to find some long-range kills. However, Max gets 1, spots the second, and is able to dip away. A perfect exchange for him. There's no kit available here for Secret either. The smoke's not on the bomb at all. This is a panic retake, and it's not going well. All going to be down to Anarchez. He does manage to find himself a kit, but he's now going to make it back to the bomb, and Robin's got other things to say. Endpoint will come away with a 3rd, and once again, the force buy works out.
Secret had that in the bag as well. They'd read the strategy so well. They got the early damage out. They looked so prepared for it, and then just the fragging power of Endpoint comes through. They just hit their headshots a little quicker. As you said, Radafaction was in such a good spot. He had the opportunity to find multiple kills, and it just didn't quite line up, didn't quite come through, and it's given Endpoint a huge lifeline here because, again, Secret are down to just the Deagles and just the P250s. There's no automatic weaponry in their counter force buy, which should, and I say should because it went oh so badly wrong the previous attempt, make it a relatively clean round for Endpoint with these 4 AKs, with the Galils, with the full util, and they're going to get a nice timing to start things off. Surreal able to take out Percy for no contest. And now with Anarchez just on that P250 in towards the window, it's just about cleaning up efficiently. Synopsy, corner of the smoke, poking to play a tight angle, does get tagged down, somehow is still alive despite the spray. They're already a man down Secret, and Endpoint, they are not looking to make any mistakes this time.
Yeah, I think finding that first pickup is kind of paramount, right? Having control of the round, but of course, wrestling for it the entire time. Radafaction walks in, finds what looks to be an easy headshot for him. I suppose it's your local form of Robin, but all the same, a little messy in that exchange, but it seems they are picking up the pieces here. SMF, other things to say, of course, landing a headshot, looking for more, looks away at the wrong second, but isn't missing. I don't understand what is going on. SMF is just the Deagle Master with Synopsy a few rounds ago. It's him in this round, and he will have more impact, moving everything onto Flames with 30 seconds left.
1v2 with the bomb dropped in an awkward spot as well. Rotation already coming in towards short. Radafaction is tagged up, down on 39. SMF has been spotted out and dealt with. There's a chance here for Flames, the new boy in the 1v2. Radafaction, 13 seconds left. If he plays this smartly, he's got it, but he's tight on the short angle, and Flames will find the headshot, bailing Endpoint out as SMF doing everything he could possibly do to keep Secret in that round. His Deagle has been on fire so far in this game, but it's Endpoint who finally win the battle of the Force Buys and will finally be coming up against an eco, a half buy, something of that description, because Secret, they cannot keep affording the buys.
Yeah, a crazy kind of start. And I think definitely how an MDL Mirage best of one can often go, especially when a UK team or majority UK team is, well, not even anymore, I suppose, technically speaking. Robin's kind of honorary, but
We'll claim it.
Yeah, I think so. He's played in enough Fish 1, 2, 3 lineups, right? You know, it counts. But either way, not too much coming into this round for Secret, right? Few Deagles, definitely can't write them off, particularly in a game like this, but finally it does seem we're hitting some normality, some momentum for Endpoint, and this should be the accumulator round, build up some cash. Ideally only lose like one player maximum, but again, time will tell. And then moving forward, Secret are going to have to come back in with an answer, make that timeout work for them. Okay, all right. Look.
Sure. 3 quick kills with the Deagle, and again, Secret, this buy was even worse than the last one, and they still find themselves a man up. And SMF is still on the server with the Deagle. Radafaction in the perfect spot with a recovered AK-47. He's going to find Flames. And how many clutches are Endpoint going to be forcing themselves into? Surreal needing an ace to pull this one off in the 1v3 now, starting to clear his way out of jungle. But with Radafaction in towards CT, he's got to be so cautious. There are so many angles that these Deagles could be peeking into as well. Secret through Percy and SMF, they're going to take short control, potentially even look to go in towards ladder room as Surreal, well, he's caught himself a little bit of a timing, starting to make his way into kitchen, but SMF with the read knows exactly where he needs to be holding. Surreal now, he's going to have no idea, surely. This tight angle, uncontested, SMF with a free kill to his name, and, well, Secret, we said some form of normality was going to be resumed. That is not the case at all. They punish brutally again. Just looking like they're hitting their shots with their Deagles. That's all it takes at the moment. They've got themselves the buy. Endpoint, they're going to be back down onto the Deagles, and we'll have to see what the UK boys can do with them.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It definitely looked like, you know, finding that first frag, getting aggressive. Okay, flash in the middle here. They get one, but he gets traded, and then just 2 frags out of nowhere, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Getting overwhelmed by a severe lack of utility is somewhat questionable, but Endpoint also able to do so. I don't know what is going on. It is starting to get a little ridiculous at this point, right? Whether you're a fan of either team or, you know, impartial as you and I are, like, it is getting a little crazy how much success these wild, force, you know, crucial, just walking out Palace. No one is watching him do that at the start of a round. It's not even like they've run the clock down and bursted out and, you know, baited some utility or come in with a play like this. Obviously, it's a heads-up play from Max at the end, but they were already looking to save. If he'd have done this in the middle of the round, then the rest of the team works off of it. But that's not even the case. It's like Endpoint, they just rush out onto A and land their Deagle shots, right? That seems to be the line that describes this game. He still goes down to the bomb, you know. I think that's kind of a sign, right? The whole game living up to his namesake. I don't know. This is somewhat wild. A pause again coming in, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's very rare that you and I are left lost for words, but it really is the case now because neither team can win a round unless they've got full Deagles. And that one was just a case of a retake gone wrong. It felt like Radofaction was meant to be the early warning sign behind Triple. He peeks towards the ramp, spots 2-3 people, and that gives Crucial the perfect timing to get out. He drops down onto double. Radofaction, not expecting that close deagle, goes down, and then Crucial getting that second pick just means that Secret, they're already starting to think we don't really want to go for this retake. It's 5-on-3. We know there's an AUG picked up somewhere on that site, and quite frankly, we know what the Deagles have been doing. So we're not really feeling this one, and that really gives Endpoint the opportunity, and they take perfect advantage. Mighty Max with a really nice timing to get down into the bottom of mid and get that pick and take that extra rifle away. But of course, we're going to see another force buy, and aggression is the order of service as Anik gets towards top of middle, is going to take out Crucial early on. And Endpoint, once again, will find themselves a man down. It looked like, again, they wanted to put some early pressure over towards that B bomb site, but almost forced to fall off with that opening pick because, well, Mighty Max has got the bomb on his back and he can't afford to contest if there is an AWP so aggressively top middle.
Yeah, I think we have an issue from kind of both teams where maybe a few too many individuals trying to take 1v1s. Particularly on the T side, I think they would really benefit from just grouping up and not allowing contact up to push in and take you down, because it does look like, to be fair to them, Secret are individually looking quite strong, if not a little stronger. You have to think of some of the rounds that have been won off the back of, you know, SMF and Synopsy finding some crazy individual plays. Percy looking for another one here with the aggressive push in, right? Like, I think they really have to start to become wary of this. A flash on that corner is all it takes. It's nothing too advanced or too crazy, but now they find themselves in a 5-on-3 on the recovery once again. I suppose at the very, very least. Okay, I was going to say it's direct 3-on-3, but very, very smart read once again from the side. Not a single frag so far from, not a, well, there's 5 points of damage. I was going to say not a single point of damage, but all the same, incredibly decisive from Secret. Nothing too flashy about it. Once again, just winning 1v1s.
And now they've just got to find the conversion. That's the only thing that concerns me, because I think you're right. Secret, statistically, the rounds they've been winning have been the harder to come by ones. They've been the ones where they're down on the Deagles. They've got no rifles at all. Endpoint have always managed to scrape together an AK, a Galil, a couple of rifles somewhere on the server to just make you think maybe they can find it. A Secret, it's been much tougher, and they've still stuck the landing consistently. So I think if they can get out of this one, if they can dodge this force buy from Endpoint, then the advantage really starts to swing their way. But it is 3 Deagles. It is 2 AKs, and it is this best of 1 on Mirage, so anything really can happen. And Endpoint, they've got themselves some decent map control to opening things up. Top mid taken, bottom mid taken through underpass, and Secret really don't have a response, at least initially. Flames trying to make some noise over towards the bomb site is in danger. Not quite connecting the shot, though. SMF, for the first time in a long time, missing a spray down to start things off, and Endpoint, this is the first time we've seen a slightly more normal force buy round. They're playing it slowly, they're taking that map control, and now they're starting to group up over towards this B-bomb site, and it's going to be Percy and SMF to try and hold it down. Fast up short, 3 players into the crosshairs of Percy, but he's good for 3 on the spray down. 3 headshots at that. That's bombed down. Flames, he's able to get 1 frag, but that's it, and Radofaction cleans things up. So Secret, I think they're really starting to hit their stride now.
Yeah, that's absolutely solid as well. Denying the bomb plant away, obviously with the way that things have been back and forth and a couple wins here, not even that in some cases. The loss bonus is pretty much non-existent for Endpoint, so not able to get anything, in theory, into this round. I think 2 P250s, I can be fairly certain. Deagles, on a CT side, you can definitely say, yeah, they walked into your angle. Yeah, you landed some quick flicks, right, before the aim punch set in or whatever it may be. But with 2 P250s on a T side, surely not, right? And hopefully here as well, they don't actually do this, which is looking to be the case. Synopsy and Radofaction doing a sound job. Meanwhile, over on B, Flames trying to find the anchor, but not going to happen at all. So, finally, normality. Okay, we're into a clean rifle buy from both sides. Secret have got a lead. They didn't drop anyone in that previous round. No one's on a Deagle. So this is kind of the Counter-Strike that we came for. And now we get to, you know, have a feel of how these teams are going to perform. For me, looking at the double up setup, looking the way things have gone recently, I think Secret are starting to find their groove and edge ahead on the CT side.
to wait and see what the double AWP setup can do, because Flames, well, he's straight out onto the B bomb site, and he's got himself a freebie as well. SMF has been lone anchoring and doing a fantastic job at that, but this time he's in trouble, and it's going to put the pressure onto Percy. Aggressive into the underpass. He'll find the first on the spray, and actually, he'll even cut that bomb out. It's going to have to make a counter rotation, and again, Endpoint, I think they're a little bit guilty of overthinking this. They've got the B bomb site, sure, Flames is there, but Secret, they've kept Synopsy in this aggressive position sandwich the whole round. They've got a player lurking in towards Conin Percy, who should be caught off guard, and indeed will by Flames, and that will start to sound the alarm bells as Synopsy with 2 from Sandwich is traded out, and somehow it's a 2-on-2. Double AWPs to try and lock things down on A, and Anakez already thinking about aggressive around the smoke.
Oh, finds success as well, drops the bomb. Still 45 seconds left, but it's now a 1-on-2 for Flames, and these AWPs are kind of the perfect weapons. You know, when you're going for a full-on retake and you've got to close the gap, they can be difficult. But when the bomb is down out in the open and you can just hold some channels, hold some angles, it's relatively simple. Radifaction, yes, with the quick flick, it looks beautiful, but Flames facing the wrong way probably would have landed that every single day of the week there, Radifaction. Yeah. So, once again, these double AWP setups, really paying dividends right now for the CT side. No bomb plant for Endpoint. So we're in another position where they have to take a half bite. And now we get to see, are we truly in a normal game, or is it going to be another forced by victory?
I'm worried about this AWP. He's very aggressive, Radifaction, but he's doing well with it. The AWP pick for the first, switching to the 5-second to find his second, but Surreal does manage to find 1 on the trade, and you start to wonder, but finally, Secret have the support lines in place. Finally, the rotations start to come through quickly, and nobody's getting picked off. So they deal with it, just the 1 frag. They manage to save that AWP as well, which is always going to be important when you've invested so heavily on that double AWP setup. You need to keep that economy going, and they're doing a fantastic job now, Secret. It really does feel like they were a little bit slow to wake up, to get into the game. You could see the individual flare, but it wasn't quite clicking. And now I'm starting to get a little bit worried for Endpoint. Secret really looking like they're going to hit the groove. And if they take a 10-5 half after the start that we had and that back and forth, I think they can be very pleased with what they've managed to achieve.
Yeah, it's on the horizon, right? So I think Secret definitely can be impressed with that. We're going to see an AWP out for Endpoint here. If I am not mistaken, I don't think we've seen one from the T side all half. So certainly interested to see what they've got planned for it. Still going to be that same old mid push, which this time around Secret are trying to contest. They've not done this very often. Every now and then someone gets aggressive, but 3-man setup early on. Sure, the AWP has to move away, but 1 towards short, 1 towards underpass, I believe. So they were looking to take some fights, but no one really presenting themselves massively. Just a big chunk of damage onto Crucial from that nade. I guess a slim advantage for Secret, but then he's on the AWP, so it's taken with a pinch of salt. And once again, they move away from middle very easily. It's something that I think Endpoint really could have exploited a bit more in this half. Nice push in from Percy, though. Anakez as well going to take down Surreal, so maybe the setup is decent. Maybe the setup is good, right? Endpoint, unfortunately, not able to find that gap in the defense.
Yeah, 5-on-3, and it really did look like Secret through Percy. They just played plan B, right? They didn't get the mid aggression they wanted, so they sent Percy all the way through B-apps. He got so much info for his team, and it's going to pay off beautifully. He's going to get another from down in underpass. Still, Endpoint not expecting it. Robin just about managing to wrench 1 back. Will take out Radifaction, but with so much presence left on the server, Mighty Max stuck in middle with the bomb. Synopsy's going to get the drop onto him, and Robin, well, I've said it once, and I'll say it a second time, an ace clutch required. It's not going to happen. Synopsy with a quick headshot will deal with the issue, and at this point, it feels like Secret are just playing with Endpoint. That aggression from Percy was so well played. Flames was even watching for it. Just wasn't expecting the CT player to be that aggressive. Reacts slowly, he goes down. And from there, they should know, right? Percy's been aggressive into B-apps. He could back off through the B-bomb site, or he could come peeking underpass, and he still gets a free kill on Crucial, who's looking completely the wrong way. And that gives the 5-on-3, at which point it's just trades efficiently across the map for Secret, and they're starting to really look like the team we expected them to be in MDL. It's a fast A play this time, and potentially an opportunity to start catching some of those Secret players off guard. Robin with the first, but do they expect that second player under Dark? Radifaction with a pick on that AWP, and still, Percy is waiting.
Yeah, he's letting them walk out. I think he knows, yeah, player towards Firebox, player Tetris, teammates also chiming in, but as the frags come through for the T side, he's going to have to make a move. And of course, they're playing very safe, very passive towards CT, not wanting to make any noise. He has one dead to rights in the form of Crucial. Of course, Surreal could rotate away and go towards B, which is what they're waiting for. Max clearing out apartments and then probably going to clear out the site itself. Crucial going to go down, and now he swings in towards this bomb, uses the fight, but he sets up his teammates. What a shot from Radafaction. Mighty Max, meanwhile, they know vaguely where he's coming from on towards this B side. So he could get the drop on one. That might set him up. The timing really is going to be everything. SMF facing the wrong way, but comes to check it, and the M4 wins the fight. 10-5 half. Pretty good recovery from Secret, all things considered.
And it just felt like they had a little bit more firepower. Again, the idea was good from Endpoint. They wanted to go fast towards A. They got some good damage off the back of it. And then from there, they knew they would have drawn the rotations. They start to think about, maybe we fall off. We hit this B bomb site. But Percy, who's been lying in wait for oh so long, finally pulls the trigger. And he pulls it into a perfect round again for Secret. That lovely shot from Radafaction on the AWP to make sure the bomb couldn't make its way around towards the B bomb site. Leaves Mighty Max so stranded, so isolated, and then it's just a nice timing. But you're going to get fights like that sometimes. Sometimes timing isn't going to be with you in Secret. Well, they've taken every timing, they've taken every opportune peak, and they've converted it into a 10-5 half, which, if this CT pistol doesn't go the way of Endpoint and we see another round of force buy after force buy, it's going to look worse and worse for the CT side. Full A execute going to be called with what little utility the T side can muster. A couple of P250s to try and take these ranged fights. And, well, Synopsy, that's a beautiful headshot to open things up. And it leaves Surreal completely alone into CT, swinging to take the fight. He does get a couple of tags of damage, but the bomb's going to go down regardless. And Secret are looking to compound on this man advantage. More damage done towards CT. And they're even starting to think about this flank. They're aware that Crucial might be looking to pull this off. And that's a lovely shot to make it viable in the 4-on-4. Aggression from Mighty Max as well, and suddenly Endpoint have got a chance.
Smoke onto the bomb. Kid's going to move in. It is planted relatively open, but the cover is solid. They've got to deal with it, and well, these frags are indeed coming in for Secret, but the defuse is successful in the smoke. Salt in the wound there from Crucial, who, by the way, really made the round with his flank. And like you said, Endpoint finding the pistol, incredibly important. Really, really good stuff from them. Certainly not out of the woods. Secret in with a pretty good buy of their own with that bomb plant. 3 Galils, a Scout, and a Deagle, full of utility. So we'll see what they've got planned here. It looks to be a leaf from the Endpoint book with that brute force out middle. The pace not slowing down at all here from the T side of things. Flame's going to get flashed in. It's a messy one, though, and he only gets one. Generally speaking, not the best result to go 1-for-1 on that CT side, particularly in, you know, a high pressure area like middle, particularly a highly important area, I suppose I should say, like middle. So we'll see what they're able to get done with it on the Secret side of things. I do like this response from Endpoint, though. Yeah. Very quick, into the apartments, clearing that area out together. And then Robin will keep on going while Max looks to support the A side of things by the looks of it. Another frag coming in for Crucial, and now Endpoint have got a man advantage to work with.
Really nice pick from Crucial, and it really does make it a little more awkward for Secret. A man down. There's tag, sure, onto Crucial, but Raddy, he hasn't managed to recover that rifle. He hasn't managed to recover any of the rifles that have gone down, so he's still stuck on the Deagle. And it means that it's going to be onto SMF to really find this opening damage. Anakez can't get too aggressive, too up in the face with the Scout, because he's going to struggle. And with Surreal already posted under Dark, well, okay, Radafaction finds the first, and Surreal's going to peek right into it as well. I said it would have to be the Galil, but it's the Deagle with 2 openings. And with Mighty Max's position known as well, this is going to get more and more awkward. Robin spotted out trying to jump into the window is dealt with. And this round looks so good for Endpoint. It's fallen apart at the seams, and once again, it's just that firepower. Radafaction just hitting his shots with the Deagle and making life all but impossible for now as Mighty Max is 1v3 and it's not going to land. Radafaction to take him out.
I don't know, man. He just, like, they look way hungrier. Radafaction particularly, he's had a lot of rounds like that, it feels like. But, yeah, they just seem a little more ambitious, more willing to take risks, whereas Endpoint, I suppose, because of the recent addition and kind of the nature of the team in a way, right? Where Secret definitely are coming in with a bit more of a mixy feel. I think they're trying to, you know, make the team work and certainly have long-term plans here, but their instincts are more aggressive. Their instincts are more confident, I suppose, whereas Endpoint like to play safe and passive and kind of avoid confrontation when they can, particularly on the CT side of things. Robin, though, on the clean headshot to start us off. The rotation's coming in thick and fast, but they're not thick and fast enough. The initial defense falls pretty easily in the end. Just the one headshot. And with Max and Crucial on opposite sides to each other, you would feel the 4-on-2 is not going to happen. Max's flank is being watched. Straight into the crosshair. That's a beautiful hold, actually. And Crucial will be the only one left. Going to try and save his D, but even that's difficult.
Even then, he's being hunted down. Synopsy on 38 will go down to 1 bullet to the chest, though, so the frag's going to come through for Crucial. That actually gives him potentially something that he could consider saving, a little bit stronger than that Deagle as well, but with Radafaction spotting him out, you can see he's so aware that they're going to be trying to hunt him down. That T side started off beautifully. Despite the pistol round going against them, they've managed to make the force by stick. Crucial's going to get caught off guard by Anarkez, so 3 rifles saved by the T side. And absolutely nothing for Endpoint to work with. That gap already at 6 rounds. Secret already just 4 away. They should be 3 after this one. And I think you're absolutely right. They just look like they're more confident in their aggressions. How many times did we see pretty much every player on Secret winning their Deagle 1v1 versus a rifle? And then you compare it to that fast B round from Endpoint. They just don't win any of their fights. Robin hits 1 frag, and then that's absolutely it. And if you're going to go for those force buys, if you're going to try and make those Deagles stick, you've got to be winning your 1v1s.
Definitely a tough one here for Endpoint. You do have to feel for them. The course of the game, but also the situation they find themselves in, right? Like you say, obviously scoreline-wise, but financially speaking, I think losing the force buy on the CT side is probably one of the worst positions you can find yourself in all honesty, particularly when you're looking to get off to a strong start. Coming in here, though, it's around, unfortunately. They're not able to isolate one of them, not able to overwhelm. Percy is the player that comes closest, but he's got backup, of course. They know that Flames is in and around middle, as well from Anarkez. So easy stuff for Secret, as you predicted. What, there was maybe 1 P250 in there from Endpoint, so not really expecting too much from them. Anyway, I think both teams can be very happy with the way that went. I suppose Endpoint, it would have been nice to find the 1, right? Any damage is good damage in a situation like that. But this is where it matters. This is kind of the very quick, it feels, last chance saloon, do or die for Endpoint, I think is a bit of a better way of putting it. Because if they lose this, they're probably on force buys for the rest of the game. And that's a hard way to pull things back. Even this buy is really not that great. They've got M4s, they've got some spooky spots. Not a lot of utility. I really like the proactivity from Crucial. Great first frag to pick up, but it's a very quick A hit coming in from
Nice damage done. Synopsy, SMF, and Radafaction tagged low, and now Surreal going to take advantage. 2 kills through the smoke in quick succession, and Percy, he knows he's got the health, but now that's being taken away as well. His 2 remaining teammates with less than a player's worth of health between them, and Endpoint finally finding some of that aggression, finally finding something to sing about. And they will find their 7th round. And it does come off the back of that aggression. You're absolutely right. It's Crucial pushing around that smoke, taking the initial pick onto Anarkez. And from there, you almost feel like Secret have to pull the trigger on that A site hit. They've got no more mid control. They've got nothing to work with. So they throw everything they've got into A. And all it is a couple of nice dinks that are converted on. And then Endpoint, it's a clean enough round. So the Crucial one is now theirs. They need to start finding a bit of momentum off the back of it, though, because the Secret buys, they are going to keep on coming.
Absolutely. And this one is pretty nasty. However, you feel Endpoint, they did a real good job in the previous. Secret have not really taken much time to work things out. They, again, are employing a lot of this early aggression. Synopsy is confident. Oh, no. The fact he gets away with 1 is a little criminal, to be honest. Over the top of the nade smokes, and they knew that he was around, but good God, you know, what, 3 or 4 peaks from him, I think. Very, very confident play indeed. And again, trading 1 for 1 really works out for the T side.
Gives them a platform, but Crucial has managed to take Palace control away at the very least. He's pushed in aggressively on that AWP, knows that it's more than likely a B hit, but still SMF's going to get out freely, and that flick to the left for the second headshot is just ridiculous. SMF looking on fine form and single-handedly just cracking open that B bomb site. And all that aggression, all that proactive play that we praised Crucial for, well, it's just going to result in a save of the AWP because there's really nothing more Endpoint can do. They had the setup, they had the aggression, they knew the likelihood of the play, but SMF, he is just looking absolutely lethal. 2 quick headshots, B bomb site is Secrets, and 14 rounds on the board for them as well.
That's rough. That's very, very rough for Endpoint, honestly. Individual play, once again. Loss bonus is really not quite enough. I think they should be able to drop across. It's really going to cost them, though, right? It's going to be a hard round, if you know, a hard time if they end up losing this one. They really need to start stringing them together. I think this is obviously the most important round of the game so far. For Endpoint, definitely keeping Secret away from 15 for as long as possible. I would say you need a good 5 or 6 rounds in a row before you let them get to that 15. So work is cut out, and with Secret's very quick, very instinctive adaptation, on the T side, I think it's hard. It's very, very hard. They definitely seem more adept to the T side for sure, right? Where like the CT side, they lost a few rounds. The 4th buys, important buys coming up and whatnot, they'd take a pause. They'd work things out. But on the T side of things, thick and fast, moving in, working the advantage, no pressure they feel at the moment because it's not really that close. We'll see. This is a great angle from Max. He is very, very ready for this one. Ooh, shows a bit too much, though. Percy will take him down. And just getting restless. I think if he'd have held it and they pushed into window, he has the drop. He has the advantage. But peeking into them, it's the other way around. A tight headshot angle, right? Of course, you know, as many people know, I'm sure, but you shoot out of your eyes in this game, so not an awful lot of Percy's head showing there. And a clean opener for Secret to work with.
And again, aggression from Endpoint. This time it's Surreal. He's managed to make his way all the way through Palace, and he's going to have the drop on the ramp player as well. Synopsy, really not anything he can do. It's going to force him into B, where Crucial lies in wait on that ult, finding himself the first bomb down as well. And if he can catch a timing, he'll hit the flick. Anarchez goes down. Synopsy actually able to get one, but with the bomb down and 30 seconds left on the clock, they've got to get a move on this T side. 2 CT players hunkering in towards B. One in the murder hole, and it's Flames who finds the frag, leaving just Synopsy and Radifaction. 20 seconds. They want to try and get something going here, but it's going to have to be the B bomb site. And Radifaction, he needs an early pick. Able to take out Robin, starts to open things up as he jumps out the window, and Crucial, up close and personal, needs this with the ult. Hits the first, looks for the second, and goes down. And with 7 seconds left, they just need to hide at this point, Endpoint, and they know it. Flames, he's all the way into CT. He's done with this round. It will be an 8 for Endpoint. We said they needed 5 and 6, or 6 in a row. They've got the first, but it was very, very close.
And that causes some problems moving forwards, right? When you're on this comeback train on the CT side, you need things to be clean. And even then, in a situation like this, you know, if Crucial had survived, he can drop someone across and maybe make it work. But because it is only Flames, there'll be 1 drop in play. Crucial's gone glass cannon, and we have an MP9. It's certainly not terrible, but it is just more added pressure. It's another factor that you've got to worry about on the Endpoint side, and something else to blame, perhaps, right? Yeah. If Crucial goes down a bit too early, he could go, damn, if only I had armor. You know, I peek around the corner, and where he's taken a few taps here and there in the previous round with his quick flicks, they're going to do more damage this time around. So there's a lot of pressure coming into this round for sure. Secret, meanwhile, nice and comfortable. Still got a hefty lead. Still got a decent amount of bank. Not as much left, so it's definitely a chance for Endpoint to start breaking said bank, but easier said than done at this point. Secret have done a very good job in the second half of we lose a round, very quickly adapting. We've just had a pause to work with as well, so yeah, Endpoint, the pressure indeed continues to mount.
The utility continues to drop as well. 2 smokes and a molly remaining for that CT side just to slow things down. And with mid controls already in the hands of Secret, life is only going to get more difficult from here. No real clear intention at the moment from the T side, though. They do have Radifaction fairly aggressive over towards that B bomb site. Have mixed success there, but it looks like They're pretty heavily dead set on that commit already. 2 players, including the bomb, going to make their way into the B apps, make it a third, and short control going to start to come through as Percy actually makes his way all the way into the window, catches the drop onto Mighty Max as well, and now the CT side have got to clear out middle before they can even start to think about the rotation, which is going to leave Robin on his own in the 1v4. He finds the first, but now his position known, and SMF quick on the trade to find his team that man advantage. Percy's lurk will finally be dealt with, but it's a 3-on-3 retake, and Endpoint, they need to find this one.
It is paramount to survival at the moment. One flash is all they have to work with. Flames as well on that flank, who is, by the way, the kit holder. He gets tagged up. He has to move away. Surreal, though, drops the player in the apartments. SMF will trade him back. 2-on-2 with a glass cannon AWP and a low HP Flames, but Synopsy looks away at the worst possible time. All onto SMF, missing his spray down. He's got 2 bullets left in the magazine, needs to reload here, but doesn't really have time. Flames is going for the defuse. He's trying to get him off it. He will indeed, and there's not quite enough time. Crucial does not get the trade. He even goes down. Oh my goodness. The 1-on-2 coming up for SMF. I mean, how many times have we seen an individual pop off? Particularly him. He's been playing very, very well. Yes, he's not top fragging, but the 9 deaths to me is something that says, you know, each engagement he takes generally tends to be successful.
Yeah.
Man, Secret move up to 15. This is rough for Endpoint. I honestly thought on the CT side they'd be able to put up a decent fight, and it's not been terrible. And we do have Deegs, but certainly those close losses you've talked about, this one looking to be a bit more one-sided.
It's unfortunate, but CT side economy is such a fickle beast, and as much as Mighty Max finds the opening pick, it's 2 in response coming out from Secret. Synopsy playing with fire a little bit here, but just about dodges the bullet of Mighty Max, and that Deagle is going to have to rethink. Still finds the shot, makes it 3-on-3, keeps his team alive in this game. And Secret, well, they know there's aggression A, so instead they're going to funnel back into B, and it's going to be Robin's job to try and hold off SMF again, not missing this time. So real quick on the rotation. Just managed to find the frag, but once more the trades come through, and Secret, they've just been so good at trading on that T side. They've not given Endpoint any room to breathe. Mighty Max left in the 1v2. That Deagle, all he's had this entire round. He's managed to sneak his way out of Kitchen, but now SMF spots him out. Ratifaction deals with it, and it's Secret. 16-8.